G'day, and you've joined us at this most idyllic spot in Western Australia called Abbotsnad's Peak, aptly named because just over that ridge there are these two most enormous round boulders, and the place was discovered by the Aborigines back in the 19th century, who settled just over that ridge there. Well, what are we doing here at this most wonderful spot? Well, keeping the theme of the previous 3 or 4 shows that we've made, we're going to follow another great trek across Australia. Though this time it's not going to be by a modern-day explorer. No, far from it. It's going to be a trail, an amazing, bizarre story about a trek across Australia by that celebrated Pommy rear gunner, Elton John. So, what was Elton doing here in the first place? Well, unknown to you guys back there in GB, Elton did a stint with the Australian Air Force, and he was serving meals on the flying boats coming back, bringing the squaddies back from Vietnam. And there was a little accident that took place. I've heard reports that it wasn't an accident. Elton was pushed out of the plane for serving a pretty dodgy cock o' van. But luckily, Elton had inserted a parachute up his anus just in case these emergencies occurred, and was able to deploy it and land safely just beyond that peak over there. Well, he tried to make his way south down to civilization, and it was an enormous feat from such a great puff. So to keep in awe of this man and his strength, I'm gonna put my my Elton John glasses on. Well, the nearest thing I've got to Elton John glasses. Really, all I need is a Z by there and an M by there, and I'd be really in business. Well, we've made our way up to the very spot where Elton landed. And behind me there is the actual shelter that Elton spent under for the first 2 nights of his trip. And not being a bug, almost had my finger on it. As I said, not being, to put that down to there, not being an experienced man of the bush. I mean, frankly, he'd spent most of his time poncing about with a Beck Lynch wig on. He wouldn't have been able to make the most of all the natural resources that he finds around in here. Taking into account that Elton's got a hell of a walk down south, he could have made the journey a little bit more pleasurable. I've had a quick scout around. I found a few tools here to make the object that I want. I'll take this, and this will make a perfect little whip aerial here. And I've made a little hole in the top of this bit of bark by here, and I'll just insert that in there. Now, any good device of this kind has got to have a tuning knob and also a volume control. And what we've got here is the perfect Bush transistor radio. Let's try it out. Up the volume. And just a quick tune by it. There. Listen to that. Well, Elton certainly could have had, if he'd used his head, music while he walked. Join us next week as we see what the raving mincer gets up to as he makes his trail south towards the shore. See ya.